Welcome to the Grow Your Money podcast, where we're on a mission to change how we talk about money. Our fireside chats are the heart of our show, bringing the energy and excitement of in-person events straight to your ears. We aim to connect you with inspiring voices and stories that matter, sharing relatable experiences and insights that will transform your financial life. But this isn't your typical money show. We look at the emotional, psychological, and cultural factors that shape our relationship with money. So hit subscribe and join us for another episode of the Grow Your Money podcast.
Okay, so I hope you like the past parts of the session. As I said, I find that one, I don't respond very well to PowerPoint. It's just you can die by PowerPoint, or there's death by PowerPoint, right? So I think it's always better if someone can just be reflective in sessions like this. And it's good to mix up things. So sometimes you can have PowerPoint, sometimes you can just try and talk and share. And that's what I try to do with the first bit of the session. One of my principles is everything that we are going through, or the way we live our lifestyle, is a testament to our children. And I always tell people that it's monkey see, monkey do. Children see better than they hear. So when they see how you're acting and how you deal with things, they respond better. So I really believe in this book so much because I used to use that book when I was doing my financial coaching sessions for adults. And my children, they're always passing by. I shut the door and I'm kicking them out. And they're like, Mommy, everything you're talking about in that book, we don't hear. We don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? It doesn't even say the 70-10-10-10 in there, right? So we did a challenge where I read the book with them. And it was such an amazing journey. We did a chapter each week. We discussed it. And I know deep down that 100 years from now, those principles, they're going to work for them, right? So do that. Read the book with your children. Ask them questions. Don't be afraid to say you don't know. That's something that I've learned, that it's better for you to tell your child, I have no clue how to deal with that, but let's go and find out. Then they also learn that it's okay not to know everything, and they learn how to find information, right? So over this second lockdown, sorry, I'm digressing from the session, but I think it's important. So if you think it's useless, I'm sorry. But I think it's important that we role model to our children, right? Over this second lockdown, their challenge has been to build a website. So they're building a website for another business that myself and my husband run. And we've set them targets each week. And I mean, I've never built a website myself. I always outsource the job, and I give a brief and I give them a brief. And, I was this customer. And my son, I was so impressed because he now knows how to go and find information. He'll go on YouTube. He knows how to filter it. He said restricted mode so that he can't see inappropriate content. He goes on and types in how to build a website. He teaches himself. Then he goes and practically does it. But that has come from him seeing us doing that. Seeing us saying, actually, I don't know what that means. Let me go and find out. So read the book with your children, right? Do a chapter a week. And it has very old-fashioned English. So go away and do research. And if they're talking about investment, you're like, my goodness, what is investment, guys? What do you think? So it's a good way to introduce your children to money, but also those principles will be helpful for you, yeah? So I will give you that book as well. And I'll give you the slides we're going to go into right now. I will share them with you. Go and use them with your family. Use them for yourself. Feel free to come back to me if you want me to look over anything. I'm happy to do that over the next week. Okay, so guys, the next session we're going in is budgeting, yeah? And the key thing with budgeting, literally, it sounds like a very big word, but my husband told me that accounting is just a posh name for income and expenses. And that was all I needed to know. It's just a posh way of saying count your income and your expenses. Stay on top of your income, money coming in and money going out. And remember, in the first session, I told you, you should have more coming in than going out, no matter how little, even if it's £1. And I was very intentional about using the example with £1, right? Because I wanted to show you that even with £1, the only person that cannot save is the person that has zero. But as long as you have £1, you can save, right? Remember I told you that? So all you need to know about budgeting, it sounds like a very big word, but it's just posh nonsense. It's posh nonsense. We don't need to know. It's just posh nonsense for keeping a track of money coming in and money going out. And what we're trying to do is to make sure that of everything that comes in, we are keeping 3 pennies. Of every pound, we are keeping 3 pennies. We are only spending 7 pennies, 70 pennies, and we are keeping 30 pennies, yeah? We're only spending 70%. We're giving our 10%. We are investing 10%, and we are saving 10%. That is all that the budget should be doing for you.
You're listening to the Grow Your Money podcast. We'll be right back after giving our partners a well-deserved shout-outs. Make group gifting easy and show someone how much you care with Gift Round. Whether it's farewells, birthdays, or just a thank you, their platform makes it simple for colleagues, friends, and families to collect money for group gifts. Create a gift round today and celebrate together. Visit giftround.co.uk to learn more today. Are you struggling with debt and financial exclusion? Fair Money Advice is a pioneering pan-London debt advice and financial inclusion charity, providing free money and debt advice services for over 20 years. Their team reflects the communities they serve to provide culturally appropriate services, putting you on the path towards financial freedom and resilience. Get in touch with them today to take the first step towards getting on top of your finances at fairmoneyadvice.org.uk.
If this is too complicated for you, don't worry. Remember, a budget is a fancy word for money coming in, money going out. So do your own if you need to. The key thing here that I want you to take away is no more than 70% should leave, right? Whether it's your benefits. The key thing here is we want more money. We want some money staying. Any money that comes in is now our prisoner. Every pound that comes in is your prisoner. And of that prisoner, only 70% of it should go out, right? No matter how you get it. So this is a basic budget. And I'll share this template with you. Again, if it doesn't work for you, please make your own version, right? But in your budget, you want to, and this is an interactive tool, so you'll be able to put in your own amounts and change it as you need to. And it will, it's interactive, yeah? So, did someone ask a question? Please, guys, in this session, if you want to ask anything, just shout out, because I know it can be a complex bit, and I'll try to simplify it as much as possible, yeah? But if you have any questions, just unmute yourself. Nothing is a silly question. I just happen to be lucky to have, being with an accountant, that I'm able to have these templates and all these fancy things, but you don't need anything fancy. Trust me. You just literally need a pen and a paper, okay? But if you have any questions, literally unmute yourself and ask, yeah? So that...
Nat?
Yes.
So if I interrupted someone else, I would get the chance. But how often do you have to budget? For example, if you have someone who's getting paid on monthly, whether that's money as the benefit or money to work, do you have to do that at the beginning of the month, or how often would you recommend the budget to take place?
So, one of the blessings that we have in this country is automation. We can make many things of ours automated. Yeah. And what I mean by that is most of your budgeting, you can make it automatic. For example, I strongly advise that when you do your budgeting, at least once every month, you should visit your budget, right? But for you to do an overhaul of your budget is every time your financial circumstances change. So what do I mean by that? You've been on benefits, now you've got a job. Or you've been on a job, your hours have been reduced. You're in a job, your hours have increased. You must go back and revisit everything that you have put in this template, yeah? As long as your circumstances, the money coming in, I'm trying to simplify the language as much as possible. So as long as your money coming in is the same, you don't need to revisit your budget every day, because I'm going to teach you how to automate things, how to make things automatically happen. And if you have a problem with that, in the next week, come to me. If you're struggling or you can't find something in your bank to help you do this, drop me a line and I'll be able to answer questions or guide you, right? So you revisit your budget as often as the money coming in changes. Every time you have a change, you've been earning £1,000 for the past 6 months. Suddenly your money is now 1,200. Go back to this template and redo it, right? And then you go back and automate everything. You've been earning £1,000. It has now been reduced to 500. Go back and revisit it. Does that make sense?
Yes. And also because it also affects the other 70-10-10-10.
That's right.
The folios kind of follow.
That's right. I think someone else had a question, but I don't know who.
I think that was Sadia. Was that Sadia? Was there something? No. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So, remember, all we are trying to control with budgeting is money coming in and money going out, right? So the first step is to deal with income. Income is money coming in. Write down all your sources of income, right? And I always say to people that we have a lot of money, we have a lot of leakage, which we lose in income. And what do I mean by that? You know, in Africa, you normally go to the well to get water, right? And you go with a jerry can to fetch water. But can you imagine going to the well to fetch water with a jerry can that has holes? When you have a jerry can, I'm using a jerry can or a bowl, and you fill it with water. Let's talk about the UK. So you go to the kitchen, you need water in your bathroom, and you have a pail in the kitchen. You put it in a bucket and you take it to the bathroom. You need 3 buckets full. If there's holes in that bucket, by the time you get to the bathroom, half the water is gone, right? So the first thing you do when you're coming to this budget is think about the areas where you have leakage. Where is the water dripping out of your bucket, right? Tighten that first. Because if you tighten that, guess what? You'll find a lot of money that you didn't know you had. I can tell you when I told you the story about when my husband told me, and then we did the goal setting. And after doing our goal setting, we didn't have enough money for our goals. I mean, the first thing we wanted to do was buy a house. You know, I was so traumatized by the experience where we had to contact our landlord and ask for time off. I was like, I would rather be having that conversation with a bank, with a stranger than the landlord, because the guy was he was an amazing landlord. He'd been amazing. He had brought us presents when we had our child. It was so embarrassing, So my biggest thing was I wanted to own a home. What did that mean? I had to go and revisit my leakages. My leakages were Oreo biscuit. That was a very big leakage for me. My leakages were not knowing that I was entitled to some benefit. Guys, did you know that even if you're on a visa, you are entitled to some sorts of benefits? For example, you are entitled to child tax credits because you've been working. I had been working, which means I had been contributing to national insurance. And for all these months I was suffering. When I had money, I was entitled to about £150 a month from the money that I was earning. Proof your income. Make sure you're not losing money, right? Another big place we lose money is insurance policies that are expired. Yeah? Check your insurance policies. Are they up to date? Do you have the best deal? Do you just let your insurance roll over? Don't let your insurance roll over. Go to them and tell them, guys, give me a better price. Negotiate. That's something else I learned. You don't ask, you don't get. And I thought that was something because in Africa, typically actually in Uganda, and I was very good at this. I never used to go to a shop and pay the price I see. If you tell me a pair of shoes is £30, I used to make sure you give it to me for 20. But when I came to the UK, of course, I was telling you about how we lose our character. I completely forgot this characteristic about myself. But do you know that you can negotiate with your providers? I've been on the phone hundreds of times. I'm now with a provider called Bulb. They're very good for energy and that. And they were charging me about £120, for the electric and that. And I thought, well, I need to do I do a comparison once a year of all my bills. Don't pay too much for your bill. If you're paying £1 more per month for your electricity than you could be paying, that's £12 a year. That £12 would have gone to your investment, right? So the first thing in your income, seal the leakage, right? Another place where we lose a lot of money is subscriptions. Why do we have 10 subscriptions? This thing really bothers me. I mean, it really disturbs me. Why do we have, I have a subscription. My husband has a subscription for Amazon. Then I have a subscription for Amazon. Then my sister has a subscription. That is crazy. And guys, especially for us who are from Africa, that is even not, if our parents saw us doing this, they would beat us up. We're supposed to be sharing. Be creative. How can you share resources? How can you share resources to maximize your income? Yeah? I'll give you an example. I love African food. It's so expensive though. I love a food from Uganda called matoke. It costs me 30 pounds a box. And the box has a lot of bananas in it. It has about maybe 30 bananas in it. Yeah? So there's just me, my husband, and 2 kids. The kids don't like it. I'm the one that eats it most of the time, me and my husband. So to be honest with you, I only need 10 of the matoke. I don't need the other 20. What did I do? I went on a group on Facebook, a Ugandan group, and I said, guys, I'm in the Livingstone area and I eat matoke. I buy matoke once a month. Who wants to share the box with me? Instead of spending 30 pounds, I'm spending 10 pounds because I share it with 2 other people who need 10 matoke each. The 1 box serves the 3 of us, so I spend less. Guess what? If I go to the African shop and I buy the 10 matoke, it costs me more because they charge you per matoke £1. If I bought 10 of them, just from the counter, it would cost me £10. But because we buy it as a box, it costs me £6. Yeah? Who can you share with in your network? I have another example. Culturally, there are people that will be around you because I can see all of us are on this call. If you don't have each other's numbers, slap yourselves. That is not okay because that means that you're not maximizing your potential. Take each other's numbers and see how can we help each other as a community. About a year ago, I was on a program called the Saltair Fellowship and I had to do some deliveries where I was going to be delivering sessions in Glasgow every day. Well, the option I had because of the travel was I would have to put my children into the after-school club for 5 days a week. Man, that is expensive stuff. I was going to be paid, quite a substantial amount of money, but the childcare was going to cost me £2,600 for that period of time. And I thought, this is crazy because it was the school holidays. So what did I do? I went on WhatsApp. I got 3 of my friends who are near me. I know they are working. I said, ladies, let's do something crazy here. Let us take a day each where we look after all the kids, right? Because guys, are you paying 2,600 each? Oh, no. Okay. Why don't we each take a day off? Because we have 5 days a week that we're supposed to be working. Yeah? Instead of taking the kids into school, let's take 1 day each. The kids eat the same food typically because, culturally, I was comfortable with these people who have the same values, right? So it takes away nothing from me to look after. There were how many kids in total? 11 children, right? 11 of us because we were 3 moms. And I keep saying to them, I said, if any one of you has more than 3 children, you're out of the group. I'll kick you out. Of course, that's a joke. But what I'm trying to say is each of us took a day to look after the children. And I told Glasgow, the people in Glasgow, I said, I can't make it on a Thursday. I'll attend the courses Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'll come and deliver, right? Thursday was my day. I have all the children. Monday, they go to my friend's house. In fact, the friend that had them on Monday, she has a big place. She stays a bit further. She's happy for them to sleep over. So I chuck them there on Sunday night. They sleep there. She looks after them on Monday. I pick them up whenever, because guess what? She's going to give them dinner. They're in a comfortable home. I'm not so worried about pickup time, which is so strict. Pick them up, and then I bring them home for a bit, take them to the next person, right? My day was Wednesday. How can you leverage your community where you are? We are spending so much unnecessarily, guys. And even if it meant one of you is not working, but all of you are paying childcare costs, get this person, because your friends and family, they are less stringent rules. Pay that money to this friend of yours. You're paying strangers. You're lining strangers' pockets, but you have networks within you. One of your friends is good with children. She has lost her job. Why are you still paying nursery fees? Let this friend of yours look after that child for half the cost. She's gaining skills. You'll be able to recommend her when it's time to get a job. Then she can have a chance to go on and do the qualification, but you're giving her a chance to learn and grow. Have we understood leveraging and the leakages we have? So you may not think you have a leakage, but you do if you're spending money that you could be saving. Subscriptions, I've talked about Amazon, Netflix. I mean, my cousin was laughing at me the other day because I share a Disney account with her, and she said, Tina, I know you teach about money, but seriously, even Disney Plus, we are sharing Disney Plus. And I was like, I can assure you that money is, in a year's time, is going to be worth this much, right? So where is money leaking out of your pocket? Hands up if you're okay with that. Has it made sense? Okay. So when you're looking at your income, I want you to look at that very importantly, not just your salary, right? Not just your saving. Do you guys do saving circles? I don't know how the Muslims do it, but we have this thing where you can do saving circles that you give money to one person each month, and then do you guys have something like that? We call it Harambe.
Yeah, we call it. But
okay, you have that, yeah?
How are you tell?
Okay.
Yeah.
Remember to put it in here, because that's something about our cultures as well. We forget to put that every time I'm working with an African. They don't have that in here, and I can bet 100% they're part of such a circle. So that's why I put it here called saving circles, right? Because we tend to forget that. Remember the day you're giving it away and include it in your spending, right? Then check your benefits allowances and what you're entitled to. Check on it and make sure you claim them. Yeah. If you're sitting at home and you're free, you don't have a job at the moment, think about how can I bring money in? Guys, I can assure you, if you think of how to bring money in, you will manage to bring money in. There are so many ideas out there that you can't fail. To the extent that I found a website which pays you to take surveys. Which reminds me to tell you something else. You can take paid surveys online. Yeah? You can, what are you doing with your time on social media? Try and create content. Follow people, go on LinkedIn. If you're looking for a job, go on LinkedIn, create a profile. Follow people in your field. Comment on their posts. Like things. I mean, yesterday, Christine put on a post about Zara. I went on and liked it. Show support for the people who support you, right? That's how you get seen, but also you create a tribe around you, because now I know that I can count for sure that 100%, if I post something on LinkedIn, Kristen is going to like it because she's my person, she's my network, she's my tribe, right? Create those tribes around you. Don't waste your days. Even if you're not working at the moment, don't waste your days, darlings. You can do so much. Even on Facebook, what are you doing on Facebook? Don't just post pictures to look beautiful. Look at what people are doing. Join business community. Listen to what conversations are going on. Another key thing, though, when you're using social media, be careful of how you want to be viewed. Don't comment on something if think about your reputation first, right? How do you want the world to see you? And then go and create those profiles. Learn how to do social media marketing. You can get paid to do surveys. Another very interesting tool that I've learned and I've earned so much money from is called Top Cashback. Please, could someone type that in the chat for me because I'm sharing my screen. Top Cashback is a website where you go on there and you buy products and services. So for example, let's say I wanted to buy insurance, or I want to buy internet. I want to buy Virgin, to pay Virgin, or, get an internet provider. If you get them through Top Cashback, you get money back. They have an offer on, they say, we'll give you back 10% of whatever you spend with the company. And I was checking my account and I've earned at least £400 in the past 2 years. It's little amounts of money, but I'm telling you, people, look after the pennies and the pounds will look after themselves. It looks like a pound, but if you do that consistently, you make money. So what leakages are you having? Yeah? Put all those leakages in here. Another big issue for me that I came across was hoarding. I have so many things in this house that I don't need. I have two, the ring light. Right now I have the ring light that puts light on you in the thing. I had 3 of them at some point. Sell them. Go on eBay, go on Facebook Marketplace and sell them. Sell things you don't need. Don't have excess, yeah? You can sell things. Think of ways. So the question on your mind, if you don't have enough income or if you're not happy with your income, should be, how should I make more money? How can I make more money? Consume yourself with that. Educate yourself. Go online, check for stuff, and trust me, you'll find stuff, yeah? Then, of course, you go into your expenses. These are all, you list down all your expenses, yeah? Council tax, electricity. Challenge these as well. Check with your telephone company. Do you have the best deal? How much are you spending on groceries? Could you do better? When I was saving up for my home, my first home, we ate bread and baked beans. And I don't recommend this at all, but I can tell you that we had some days when we had bread and baked beans for about 2 months straight, because the amount of money that I had to save for the house was way more than I was earning. So the only place I could tackle was my grocery. So I broke my groceries down. I'm not joking, guys. We were spending £50 on groceries, and it was 2 adults and a baby. And we did that for 2 months because we had a goal. We were shooting, and I ate those beans on toast with joy, with the most joy, because guess what? I knew what I was going to get. And by the way, to encourage yourself, go and live in your dream. Go and live in your dream. What we used to do was we would go and view houses. We went and looked at the streets we wanted to buy on. So we were always dreaming. So after having the beans on toast or eggs or whatever it was, we went and drove around the neighborhoods we wanted to live in, right? We booked appointments. We understood about mortgages. We phoned up companies. I want to buy your house. They asked us questions. We went and did research. I remember the first time I phoned up Lloyd's Bank, and I said, yes, I want to buy a house. And they said, okay, so do you have a deposit? I didn't know what a deposit was, because in Uganda, when you're going to buy a house, you have the money in the bank, right? And then you buy the house cash. But with mortgages, you have to have a deposit. And I said to my husband, these guys are stupid, man. I am coming to them for a loan, and they're asking me are they crazy? I'm asking them for the money because I don't have it, you know? So I had to educate myself on what is a deposit. That's something as serious as that, right? So be in the space of that dream. If you want to buy a G-Wagon class, how much does it cost? Go and test drive one. You know, it will help. It will make those beans sweeter. They'll taste better. So that's about your household bills. Put in everything. Most of us who are abroad, who live in the UK and have family back home, you support families back home. Account for it in here. I want to say something about that. To be honest, I don't have that experience because, as I told you, my family is quite okay. But I've seen instances where my friends feel guilty. They give back to the family in Africa or out of guilt. Around your giving to family, you have to have limits and you have to have boundaries. But more importantly, you also have to make a budget for it, yeah? So you have to determine that every month I can't spend. Remember, first of all, the money you send back home is part of your 70%. Have a conversation with these people and say, listen, within the money that I earn, this is the only amount of money I can afford to send you each month. And by the way, what are you giving them the money for? One of the challenges I have with our people, especially back home, is the dependency syndrome. I should not be paying school fees for your child for 5 years in a row. That's just wrong. Yeah? Instead, tell me a business that I can start for you, give you seed capital so that you can afford to pay your child's school fees next week. So don't be guilt-tripped into continuously giving handouts to our people in Africa. We are crippling them. We are crippling our people. We should be empowering them. When someone asks me for money, I always ask them, okay, so what is it for? Okay, they tell me what it's for. I'm like, okay, how can you make sure that you won't have to come and ask me for money again? I've had an occasion. I have a cousin that lives in Abu Dhabi, and he came to me. He wanted me to give him a loan of £500. He wanted to set up a business. And I said, I need you to tell me how you're going to spend it. I mean, I feel like I'm a bit of a dragon, and I want to go on Dragon's Den one day. So that's anyway my field. So I said to him, I want you to tell me exactly how you're going to spend this money. And it turned out that actually he was asking for less money than he needed. So I did a deal with him. I said, listen, I think you need £800. You don't need 500. It won't be enough and you're going to fail. But you need 800 pounds, right? But this is the thing. I'm going to give you the 800 pounds in 2 phases. I'll give you 400 pounds. Come back and show me what you've done. Prove that you've used the money well. I'll give you another 400 pounds. The 400 pounds I'm giving you is my seed funding. I'm funding your business. The other 400 pounds you have to pay me back. The other condition is you can never come back to ask me for money again. This was 2 years ago. This year, in the lockdown, my daughter wrote a book. The first project she had at the beginning of lockdown was for her to write a book, and she wrote an awesome book. And when she wrote the book, I went on Facebook. Of course, I shared about it, and I was trying to teach my daughter about completing a project and an assignment. And guess what? This guy in Abu Dhabi, his business is doing so well now. He sets up a website. He set up a website for her for free. But guess what? He's never come back to ask me for money again, because the way I gave him the money was empowering him. So you can be giving money to your people back home and you're crippling them. You're not making them think for themselves. So think about that. Giving can sometimes be, you think you're doing something good, but you're harming someone. So I challenge you in that area, because I know it's a big thing for our people. I challenge you to give wisely and to empower. Make your giving empower someone, not cripple someone. Yeah? Then if you run a business, I'm so conscious that the time's running out. If you run a business, I put a few costs here that you may have. Yeah? Because initially when you're running a small business, those business costs will be in your family expenses. So do all that and then make sure it's no more than 70%. I'll share this template with you, but I want to check if you have any questions. Sorry guys, because I'm so passionate about this matter, so sometimes I go on, so I apologize. Any questions or any comments? Anything you want to say, please?
Thank you very much. I have a question. Can you?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Absolutely, it was fantastic. And a lot. Even though I'm good with math, but the way my wife is good for saving when it's coming to money. But my children, they say, no, Daddy, can you buy that? And okay. I ordered it for Amazon, and my wife, she said, well, do we have this one? Why are you buying? So that I know, thank you very much. I learned a lot today. And my question is, because you said the rule 70, 10, 10, 10, is that every month or yearly? How can we do this? Yes.
70, 10, 10, 10 is every money that comes into your life. Every time money, it doesn't matter if it's your salary, if it's a gift, any money that comes to your pocket that is now yours, 70, 10, 10, 10 applies. My children, when they get birthday money, they get money from all over my sisters live in Canada, and then I have family in Uganda. So on the birthday, they have money coming from everywhere. Yeah. And they've learned it so much that they sing, they laugh and sing a song that happy birthday to me, 70, 10, 10, 10. Happy birthday to me, 70, 10, 10, 10. Because for everyone that has said happy birthday to you, you must do 70, 10, 10, 10. So you get paid for any money that comes into your life. So, okay. Think of money as a resource that comes into your life, right? The moment it comes to your hand, it's an invitation. It's an invitation to interact. And the interaction you want to have with the money is 70, 10, 10, 10. That's your relationship. Any money that comes in your life, you have a 70, 10, 10, 10 relationship. I hope that helps.
Okay.
I have a comment. So, for the income, the money that is regularly coming into you, once you decide your 70%, set up a standing order to a different account. Standing order is automation, right? That's why I say that every time the money you get changes, then you change this formula, right? So the minimum you should have is 2 accounts. Never have just one account. Yeah, because then everything is mixed up and you don't have a good understanding. So have a minimum of 2 bank accounts, and you can call one of your bank accounts your 70% bank account, and then you get your 30% and put it in the other accounts. If you're like me and you're more comfortable with money and banking and that, have 3 accounts, have 4 accounts. So I think I have 6 accounts. I have an investment account. Then I have an actual online trading account. I do a bit of online trading, and I automate it. So I have a standing order from my 70% account, yeah, that goes to my trading account. Then I have the 10% one for saving. I have the 10% one for giving, and I have the 10% one for investment. So I decide who I'll be giving in a given year. And sometimes I can give them, because some people I may be giving more money. So like this year, we want to give a charity based in Uganda, and we intend to give them a bit more money. So I can't give it to them every month. Although the money comes out of my account every month, we're going to give them the money when it reaches the target we have. So it will take about 6 months. So that money is in the giving account. Yeah. And there are so many easy banks. I recommend a bank. Again, this is not financial advice. Yeah. But there are very many banks that can help you now on your phone to look after all your money. There's banks like Monzo and Starling. They'll help you even to budget. They'll even tell you how much you've spent. Yeah. And you can put in those banks like Monzo, you can put in something called a saving pot. So you can decide that 10% will go to the savings automatically. That's what I was telling you, that a lot of these things can be automated. Setting up standing orders. Another good way to be accountable is tell someone else. So if you know you're not good with money, like in your case, Saidali, and your wife is good with money, let her be in charge, or every month she must come and take the money for investment. It's her job. And then you say, okay, so I'll give you a standing order to your bank account. And I don't know how you do your finances, but people will be different. In my case, we have most of our finances together. We share our money anyway. So anything else, if we know that we want anything for investment, I'm the one that's likely to want to buy a perfume. So that goes to my husband in an account that's, more secure, right? So understand your weaknesses. And it's okay to have weaknesses. It's okay to, I like good things. I love perfume. I love going out. If it's up to me, I would not be cooking in this house. I would be going to restaurants every day. But I own it. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm happy with that. And I try to work hard so I can afford that lifestyle, right? Don't be afraid of who you are. Embrace who you are, but make sure it doesn't stop you from achieving your most. So I know that I'm like this. My husband is a chilled out guy. I mean, I don't even know if he cares about earning, I think he just earns money to live, but he's not interested in anything. He wants a good car and a good house, and that's him. So I feel safe that if I tell him to deal with the money for investing, he won't be tempted to use it on perfumes, right? So in your couple, as a couple, remember I told you about leveraging? Leverage your family as well. Who in the house is better at managing money? Give them that job. No point you, Saidali, being the one dealing with investment when the child is going to come and ask you for a toy and you're going to give it to him tomorrow. Give that job to your wife. And then you know what you're good at and do that, right? So, and own this. I always say there is nothing. Your personality is a gift and a blessing, and it's okay. Never be put down for who you are or the things you like. The key thing is that you're using them to your advantage. Because I love going to restaurants and having fun, guess what? We've traveled all of Scotland, right? And that's a good thing. Otherwise, we'd be sitting in this house all the time, right? So don't feel bad about your personality. There's nothing, this thing called a spendthrift does not exist. Being a spendthrift mean you'll have a good lifestyle. You like having a good lifestyle, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, can you afford that lifestyle, or how can you afford that lifestyle, right? Okay, so I hope that's good. And in here, if you click along, if you look down here, so this budget is going to have, it has 3 sections, yes? The first page, I hope you can see.
Yeah.
The first page at the bottom is written on budget, this bit, and that's where everything is in here. Put in everything, yeah? I want you to think about all the money that comes in, put it in the income. All the money that goes out, put it in the expenses. The total income, when you get to here, as soon as you have your total income, you have to do your 70, 10, 10, 10. Yeah? So these expenses, you have to make sure they are no more than 70%. If they go more than 70%, my friend, go and eat bread for a few months until we could make correct this position. Go and fund your council tax. Your council tax is pretty set, but go and try and deal with your electric bill. Yeah? Reduce your childcare costs. I gave you an example there. Cut out. Get off Amazon. You don't need Amazon Prime. deal with this section. You have control over this section. As long as you have a pound, it means you have more than zero, which means that you have more than zero to spend and save. Are we clear? Then business will touch on that. But now I'm very worried because the session's ending. It's coming to 12. But anyway, in here, there's a template for SMART goals as well, yeah? And I've said I'm happy to help you guys review them to make sure you have SMART goals. But I put this template here to help you and your families. Just write a list of your goals and why you think you're not able to achieve them. What do you need to do to make it happen? When do you need to achieve it? I put this in here because, as I told you, if you create this budget but you don't have any dreams or hopes, it's pointless. There's no point, right? So actually, you should start with your goal setting. Yeah? So that's this ended. I don't know if there are any questions, please ask. And then lastly, this middle template is your goals, yeah? It will have your goals in it. And then just put in, I always say that don't work on more than 4 goals at any given time. Have no more than 4 goals for a year. Because you want to achieve them, yeah? And then move on. If you achieve goal number 1, you put it on your achievement list and then you put in another goal. Is that clear? Okay. Any questions, guys?
Good question, Tanya.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Where do you can find the investment? Because you talk about the trading. Because I know some people, they do the money exchange or foreign exchange trading. What advice you can give us if you're someone passionate about the trading with the money?
So I'm not allowed to give you advice on that because I'm not certified. I'm not a certified investment advisor. So I really am not allowed to give you advice on that. But my husband, we found out about this because of 2 things. One, learning. We went away to learn. But because my husband's an accountant, he was already in that space anyway. So that's how we got into the trading. What I encourage you to do, though, is that I challenge you. So I think that you guys are in a very special place because you have people who have a similar background or similar experiences. You have similar characteristics. I encourage you to create something called an investment group. So I have, me and my husband, we have an investment group, right? And we have a game. Unfortunately, with lockdown now, we can't play it, but we have a game by Robert Kiyosaki called Cash Flow. It's a board game, very expensive board game, but it's worth your while if you have an investment club as a group. And what we do in our investment club, every month, someone has to go away and research on a topic, an investment topic. And they come back and they advise us. So from this investment group, we were able to meet with another family who we met here, but they're also from Uganda. So that's why I'm saying you're in a very lucky place. You have each other. There are people, when we came here, we didn't know anybody. We spent 2 years without knowing anyone. And in some ways, it was very good because it meant that we still had our superhero powers because we'd come from Uganda and we just thought, well, these, superheroes. But in some ways, it was so lonely, so lonely. You can't find someone in Uganda, you're talking about the winter. They don't understand it. They're just like, Tina, why are you always telling me about the weather? It's sunny here 24 hours a day. Get lost, man. So it was so hard to connect, but you guys are very lucky. Do not take your group for granted. Network with each other. That's the one asset you have, right? So in our investment group, when we got this investment group together, each one would go away each month and would set up targets, and we created a circle. That's why I said I know that each of you must be having a circle. So we created a circle where each month we put money in as a group. And within that circle, we found another couple who are almost similar to us in character and behavior. And with that couple, we invest. We do trading and investment. We were happy to lose some money. We agreed an amount of money that we were willing to play with. We opened a trading account, and I can tell you the name of the trading account, but I'm not recommending. It's called Interactive Investor, but I'm not recommending it. I'm just telling you what I use. And then Interactive Investor, we set up an amount of money that we wanted to spend every month on it. And then each of us had homework to go and research on a stock. We went away and researched on a stock, and we came back and we discussed what the pros and cons were, and we chose 2 stocks. So for 1 year, we bought 2 stocks, and then we went and kept increasing. So use your network. You shouldn't be doing this alone. Use your network. You have a fantastic network of people, amazing, diverse talents. I'm sure some of you have an accountant there. You have someone who's good with it. And I challenge you to actually, the people who are shy and quiet, give them the first slots. Throw them in the deep end, right? And then creating an investment club is a very good way of educating yourself and learning about investment. I hope that's helpful.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Tino, I've got a statement to make. I knew you were good, but I didn't realize you were brilliant.
Oh,
I've learned such a lot myself. And thank you very much. That was brilliant.
thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy to be working with you guys, because if when I came to this country, I had someone to tell me the things that I know now, I would have sailed. And I always say to my mom and dad that I lost about 5 years trying to find myself to be able to talk to you like this. And it took me about 5 years of losing myself and not having any hope to right now just living a fairly comfortable life and just learning the ropes. That's why I'm saying it's okay not to know. It's okay not to know, and be proud about not knowing. Yeah.
Absolutely nothing wrong with that. And as I said, I've learned so much as I've been in everything, which you actually don't. And it take these lovely little nuggets, use them. Fabulous. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other comments or thoughts?
I think Rob had a comment.
Okay.
Oh, I just wanted to say to you, thank you, Tina. This has been so brilliant. It's so helpful. That's all really.
Thanks. Well, why not? It's lovely.
Thank you so much.
A comment. I think, Sarah, thank you so much. That was really amazing. I can't describe in words. But I think what made the difference is that connection. Like East African sister, and there's some of the things that you have mentioned, like, Harimbe, that we called Headbutt as well, just to have that joint, suppose when one can't afford, for example, to buy a fridge, then we'll contribute to money, and then that person will buy a fridge, and then they will return it, then another time, and second month, then another person will take it.
Yeah.
And that's interesting to bring up that really, but also how bit of that family, back home, that's something which is part of our DNA. But also, I think the way you said will make us reflect on, actually, is this actually creating a culture of dependence? Well, are you empowering them? And I think that's really powerful. It's not only the sake of, feeling guilty and giving money away, but what will that do for them? And will they actually stopping them from actually moving on with their life? So I think that was really powerful. So I like Jen was saying, I met a lot today from you, and as I was saying as well. Yet, so thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, right here as well, the same thing, and I thought, but then a lot, and your personal message as well. Thank you for adding quite a lot about your message, your personal message into the Zoom total. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
I'll have to go and get that twin growth and about instead of that I was up for
Nice.
it is.
And I will say
Something
open.
I know.
Yes. Hi, Nasra.
And hey, yes, thank you very much. I want to say too. And I like the when you go to someone see the bottom shots. I never think about the two, always good throw all I want. And I like that when you said they spend 70%, we never ever think about all these,
Yeah.
Always, if you have £3, so money, you can buy something. But if you have like £2, £1.50, you say, it's not enough money. But respect money. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, I'll say I never learned today. The first thing I did is to look after my needs. So I'm going to let that my current insurance expires. So I'm going before they I'm gonna start with today. I can't wait to fix the session and go for the garbage for another. Yeah. So thank you very much. Awesome.
Thank you very much, Tanya. And as I said earlier, I know a lot because I'm not good with the money, but I learned today. I know a lot what you taught me, and because the budgeting is very important as well, to have a goal. Because many of you don't know, you can buy a house here. Yes, you can do. There's the way you can buy this. It's called in Arab Murabaha. There's some bank they give you money, and that's no interest. Please find out that one, and it's very important to get a house. That's if you put that the goal, you can do that. And if you are a consult house, if you get discount, because how long you that house, you get the discount as well. So that please, Tanya actually give me how can you do that goals. But thank you very much, and everyone, thank you.
And just I just wanted to add on, because I know there'll be people that are on visas and that. Even when you're on a visa, you have rights, you have benefits that you possibly are entitled to. And guess what? You can invest even on a visa. Go to your bank and ask them, I am on a visa, can I buy a house? How can I buy a house? And ask these questions and go and ask. Don't be afraid to ask. Go to the bank. I went to the bank and asked them. I said, what's the deposit? Write down the list of things that I need for you to be able to give me a mortgage. Then they gave me the list of things and I went and I started working on those things. Yeah. You want to buy a house? Find out, how do I even look at a house I want to buy? Call up an estate agent. Go to the estate agencies. Go and view the house. Go to the area you want to live in. Go out and do it. You can do it.
Tanya, I just want to say to you, and since as I started actually this our group, I think the best decision I have ever had, because I've learned today a lot of now. Not always I think about, although I'm not working at the moment, but in my mind I had to buy it. But today I learned from you how I got a lot of other places. Wow. I think that I don't know how can you, if I want some more information, is that impossible if I can, get from you?
Yes, so I'm going to leave my email address here. Thank you so much for that comment. That's amazing. That's such great feedback. I'm so grateful. Thank you. And I've put my email address in here. Feel free to contact me. As I said, for this next week, I will leave it open specifically for Waroma, so that if you need any specific information, I can give you. But please remember that I'm not a financial advisor. I am a money coach. I'm a financial coach, not an advisor. And that's why I'm saying, please, when you want to buy a house, get yourself in that mind space, right? Go to the bank, phone the bank. I want to get a mortgage. I want to take out a mortgage. And
I didn't know, that there's a lot of information about that. Even I have, in my mind, if I start to work, how I meet up, and how when I find it, how can I get my own house?
But I think the key thing for you to take away is that for anything that you put in your goals, get yourself in that space, and you get yourself in that space by going there. Go and view houses. Go online. Find out which houses are in the market. This is the house I want. Go and view it. Go and ask the bank, Be active in the thing that you want to achieve. Go in that space and do it until you win.
Thank you.
I'll put my email. Hi. Thank you very much. That was an amazing session. I really learned a lot. And I think Hamdi was talking to you earlier on. Yeah, that was as well. For me, it was the best session. So I had to really. And also, I learned as well that I'm gonna apply to myself the 70-10-10. I think I'm doing it because at the moment, I don't know, somehow, since every time I go for shopping, food shopping, obviously, maybe because each time you grow up, then you think about your kids' future. So, and always my daughter goes with me to the shopping. So I always look at, she grabs something and then I say to her, is it less than £1? And then she said, well, what's with that? And then I said to her, but we need to, we only got a small budget, so we came to buy. So you have to look at that. And the other thing that I notice as well, I do the giving thing, whether it's a money or a resource, and as well, it's really helpful. And I think when we were young, I started to enter, what's it called, and be like a charity, and they take from my account each month, and they send to me what they spent that money. So, and my kids always they look at it, and then it's like either the picture where where that money goes. So they look at it, and I didn't know that they get that loan or something. And then my son, he is 18 this month, and but last, I think December, he started to work. So that was his first job. And to be honest with you, I am so impressed. I'm so proud that in whatever you do, they look at you, and they, as you said earlier as well, role model is very important. And then I didn't notice. So first thing he think about it for his first payment, he gave, so he gave to his sister, he gave a £10 to his sister, a £10 to his brother. And then after that, he said to me that he knows, and I can see that what money, how money important is. So he looks at it, and he carefully thinks about it, not spending a lot.
Yeah.
And then one time he came to me and said, Mom, the other thing that I want to do now is to be a charity.
Wow.
And I said, oh, that is so amazing.
Yeah.
And my other son, he's not working, but he also sometimes, the pocket money that we gave. He said to me, this time I don't want the pocket money, but I want to give as well. Give a charity. Please find me a charity. So it's really good session. So I think I'm on the right road. But within terms of goals and all that, it's a good thing. So thank you so much.
And been great. And I was going to say, Mona, how old is your daughter?
My daughter's and she's 13.
So do you know what I do with my children? We run the house like a business. So we have departments. And my daughter is in charge of the shopping list. So she knows the weekly budget that we have. And she has to make the list for the house. So she has to write, and she can put on anything, but it has to be within the shopping budget. And she's learned how to budget just from doing that. So let your daughter be in charge of the list. Before you leave home, let her make the list. So when you're in the shop, she can't pick up something. You ask, is it on the list? But we're going to go over. So it helps them to do their math. But also, now she's in charge of something important, So that's a good way that you can help her, because my children are the same. My son, to be honest, is very cheeky. He's so young and playful. But even him, he knows that when we're in the shop, he's only allowed one treat, and he works out the money, and you can see him trying to count it out. So they are not yet too young for responsibilities. So that department, give it to her to deal with the shopping list and things like that.
To be honest with that, she helps me a lot with that, because the other day, since she turned 13, she only asks for if I can add that, but she doesn't make a fuss about it. She helped me with putting a list what each day we eat.
Wow.
She
really organized.
That's
So
awesome.
she came with a big seat. The other day, the other day she hit me. Oh, what shall I cook this time? I'm okay. See me how busy I am.
Yeah.
And she really came with a list, and she impressed me. And then and then I started to follow her. And
That's awesome.
she came with a nice easy and what we eat for breakfast, lunch.
Wow.
Do that.
That's amazing.
But I was really very impressed.
Oh, definitely. Maybe one other point I forgot to mention is you need to praise your children. Try and avoid any negative conversations. So in that case, Mona, you praise her and you show her that you're using her list and you're like, oh, we have to eat this because you did it, and praise them and encourage them because, again, you're their role model. If you don't give them life, if you don't speak life into them, no one else will. So that's amazing. Ayan, you wanted to say something?
I just wanted to say that I always had problems with the managing and the budgeting on my own back. And as soon as I get my salary in the end of the month, I'm very sure by the 10th of the month, I'm thinking about how am I going to survive for the rest of the month. So from now on, I will be using it 70-10.
That's great. That's great. Any other comments?
That's all right. Yes, I have a comment. In 2018, I attended a workshop by someone called Tony Robbins. That's an American guru. So the name of the event is called Unleash the Power Within. And it was one of the best events that I've ever attended. And one of the messages that I remember was, we are not lacking resources. We are lacking resourcefulness. Yeah. And that reminded me when you were in it, saying actually live with your dreams. And so when we think about and have to go and use our resources that we have, whether that's the resource of the people of our network or exploring the options and opportunities. So we can also put it not in their account and how not offer how much, because it's another thing. Our brain actually, we have a lot of wisdom within us, but also using other resources that's available. So we are resourceful if we use our resource available. So thank you very much. That reminded me actually, that took me back actually when I met at the time of trip.
That's awesome. And I will share with you a few. Tony Robbins was on my list as well. I'll share with you a few people because remember I've told you to get a mentor. Sorry guys, I know the session's run over, so I apologize. But I was saying that remember I've told you guys to get a mentor. The session just ran. We just had so much to pack in, so I didn't manage to touch on business money, and that maybe hopefully we get a chance to do that next time. But one of the things is look at the person that you feel is a role model. It can be someone on TV. It can be any. So for me, I want to be a dragon. I want to be able to, Dragon's Den. Have you guys watched Dragon's Den? I want to create a Dragon's Den for Africa. That's my dream. So what do? I research a lot about Dragon's Den. I watch Dragon's Den. My children watch Dragon's Den. I role play in the house is Dragon's Den. I'm a judge. They come and give me business ideas. I'm a dragon. As far as I'm concerned, I'm a dragon. And there's an American version called Shark Tank. I go on that. So what do you want to do in life, and who is role modeling for you? Role models do not have to just be the people around us, but it's also resources. So follow them. I follow all the dragons online. I've gone for 3 or 4 of their talks. I've told them I want to be a dragon. So stay in the space that you want. Get a role model, and Tony Robbins is a very good one, but get a role model that you look up to and do that exercise with your children. Who's their role model and why? And then keep yourself in that, just like your goals, stay in the space of where and who you want to be like.
Thank you for listening to the Grow Your Money podcast. If you're looking to take actionable steps toward achieving your financial goals, visit moneymatics.com. That is money, MATIX.com, and join our free Grow Your Money Challenge. Let's unite in the movement to inspire people to talk about money. Thank you for being a part of our community. We'll see you in the next episode.